Hello, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. Today there's still a bunch more hub 3-star quests to clear. I'm hoping I can get through a few of them. I think some of these could be fun. Not that one, but I'm gonna do a couple of these multi-monster hunts. It's a weird pair. Yeah, these are interesting pairs. They're all like weak monster, strong monster. Yeah, the Kirin are, both Kirin quests are gone now. Yeah, these are not that bad. I have the Sun Snug Calico. So the golden fish isn't difficult. That's a bull drone basically is super weak. I think I'll do these. I'll do this one first. It's been a little while since I fought a Brachydios. And I enjoy it. I like the design. I wonder what monsters will come back for wilds. I'm just thinking like Brachydios, could it? Maybe. It wasn't in Sunbreak. It was in... Well, I don't know if normal base Brachydios was in Iceborne. What I do know is that at least Raging was in Iceborne. Volvidons, I think, are often in Zone 2. Yeah, it's kind of... It's a mystery as to what will be... As to everything that will be in Wilds. It would be pretty wild if, at this point in time, we've already seen every single monster that will be in Wilds. That would be an effective way to have a terrible launch. Because there would not be enough monsters. I mean, obviously there's gonna be Rathlos, there's gonna be Rathian, like there's no way there won't be. Actually, that'd be a cool twist. No Rathian, but they have Rathalos. I don't know if, like, I've not played every game. I can't imagine they've done Rathalos and not Rathian before. But I think it'd be interesting. It might go against, like, the established biology where they are, you know, a pair. So they can't really separate them in a game, but I think it could be interesting. That should have hit me. Like I do think it could be a way to establish, like, something about the locales. If they have, like, there are Rathloses but no Rathians because whatever design reason, like, they justify it with some information about the locale, the overall position it is within the world, and just do that. I'll let him leave. I think it could be a fun little It could be a fun little story thing. Story. But I think it could be interesting. Mostly because I don't really... They're both different fights, but I don't really... Like, it's basically Rathalos feels, or felt, like the harder fight. And it's basically, oh, that was actually an objectively awful hitbox. Like, Rathalos felt like the harder fight, now Rathian in this game feels like the harder fight, but that's because of flash bombs trivializing Rathalos in this entry. And maybe every entry. I've never used it properly. But it's sort of, it feels weird. They died to the Palico. It just feels kind of... I'm never like, oh yeah, let's hunt Rathian. Like, I'm never like, oh yeah, let's hunt Rathalos, but... It's a more... Rathalos, in my mind, is a much more... consistent feature. Like, the armor set is recognizable. Not that the Rathian is completely unrecognizable, but Rathalos is more recognizable. It's, at least my understanding is, it's pretty much always an attack up that, whereas the Rathian one is sort of a defensive range set? I don't know, it's a weird set. It's a less of an obvious set. It's like, oh yeah, I'll use this because defense. Like, to me it doesn't have the same value. I say that. I basically, in Rise and World, I didn't make the Rathalos sets. But it's just sort of a, yep, it's attack based. It's an interesting... They sort of need to be together because of the biology that has been established, I think. But outside of that, from a gameplay reason, I really don't think they both need to be in every game. Like, if Rathalos is in a game, you don't really need Rathian, in my opinion. But if Rathian's in the game, you don't really need Rathalos either. Because they aren't the same. One flies, one doesn't. Or one flies a lot, one doesn't fly a lot. But it's sort of... What am I looking for? I'm looking for a Punch Boy. Punch Boy's not going to be a Zone 8. But it's sort of a... I can't think of the word. Sort of... The differences are... I mean, the differences are enough that if they didn't look similar, they would clearly be different monsters. Which is why they can be together all the time, because they're not the same monster at all. I guess I just want a Monster Hunter entry without Rathian spinning. The just repetitive 180, 180 tail spin, because that's very repetitive. I think it was less repetitive in Rise, Sunbreak World. This game really suffers from that attack being repetitive. Like, Brachydios has that 180 attack. Whereas, I think in Rise and World it's a lot less common. Which is good, in my opinion, because it doesn't really play out differently between different monsters. There's specific elements, like some of them poison, most of them don't. But it doesn't feel special when different monsters just 180, stop, 180, stop, 180, stop, 6 times in a row. Like, it's something that I think... I was not aiming in that direction. That's 100% factual. Oh, that was close. It's sort of, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing everything that's new and more wilds, and I hope there's not a lot of monsters with the 180 attack. I think the 180 is probably the most... Is this... that? Yep. That should have hit me. That hit... The hitboxes on that is kind of weird. Like, I think I should have gotten hit one explosion sooner and not hit by the explosion that hit me. It works out in the end, but it's just sort of delayed, I think. Like, delayed in weird ways. But actually, thinking about all the new monsters, I don't think a single one of them should do that has been shown so far. I don't think a single one of them should do the annoying 180 tailspin. The ballerina spider is a spider. It's not going to do a spinning tail slash. It might spin, but it's not going to be a tail attack. Oh, oh, that worked somehow. I deserved to be hit there, but I didn't get hit. Spicy? Good. Ooh. That would be funny if I got hit by the explosion there. Like the Leviathan, that was not... I was holding a button. I think the Leviathan monster should be... I'm doomed. The Leviathan monster shouldn't do 180 tail attacks. I really hope. Like, I would be shocked if it did. And kind of sad because it's just a waste of... I hate when little Senators poison me. Like, I'm not attacking them. They chase me and they die because they get caught in the crossfire for no reason. Ah, this is the actually this is the first heal I'm going to do this whole fight. Because the Volvidon basically didn't exist. And most of that damage came from a Senator's poison. Most is a slight overstatement, but about close to half. Maybe the 50 defense from the legs really does make a difference. Actually, but not really. It's still within the realm of low rank, because I could just upgrade the Rathalos armor more. Like, it just uses Rathalos gear, or Rathalos parts, gives about 8 per level. Which one level on each piece would get me to 40 more armor, I think, if it's 8 per level. But yeah, the Leviathan, Shadowcobra. Actually, I bet the oh, what's it called? The monster that is like a cockatrice, the fire cockatrice, probably has a good chance of being a 180 spin monster, is what I'm gonna call them forever. So you see the 180 spins on Brachydios? They're very repetitive. Kind of lucky. And I find the 180 spins like that are very detrimental. Because if they chain them repeatedly, it's just a waste of time. It's kind of interesting to fit as best you can, duck under them stuff, but... yeah, the cockatrice could definitely be repetitive. I could definitely... oh, this should be a sleep scenario. I should have waited. It slipped my mind that zone 6 is the, I'm going to say, nesting area. I wonder which monster I'm gonna... I wonder what's gonna be the best new monster. Whether it's... just... you know, I do this... generally, what I do in a scenario like this is just leave. Because fighting in the corner is a waste of time. It's even more of a waste of time because he's leaving now. It's either 5 or 7, but I'll check 8. I'm pretty sure it's 5 or 7. Somehow it was 8. I'm glad I checked. But yeah, of the new monsters, apparently Ray Dao is pretty good. I wonder how they will all compare once they can all be fought. I wonder what I wonder what the different armors will be. Like the cockatrice could be fire-based, Ray Dao could be thunder-based. But other than the obvious things like that, I wonder what they could all be. I wonder, I really doubt that the La Ballerina, the ballerina spider. I wonder if, I doubt they would have it, but I wonder if they can go like, oh, the blood right sort of idea worked really well from Malzeno. Let's do a blood healing based skill again. They wouldn't. It'd be too early in the game. At any point, it would be obtainable from a non-final boss type encounter, I feel. It could be from a final boss type monster. Kind of fits. It's a very convenient skill. I don't know if it fits from a spider. It's just the whole blood aesthetic. Absolutely worthless. Cold res 10, that's kind of bad, but cool. Ooh. I really am wondering how the quest system's gonna go. For stuff like, can they possibly have... is there any system for multi-monster hunts if you're manually hunting the monsters that you want? Like, are those sorts of systems completely gone? Or are they going to have, you can't return to the village until you've beaten these two monsters or stuff like that? I think I'm going to end those two today. Not right now. But I should just get those checked off. I guess both Kirins are here now. I think I'll do the Kirin. I want to get the quest checked off before it disappears. I'm really curious about all the specifics. Chatacabra. What type of... I mean, to me it seems like it'd be a raw weapon. Raw focus could be a negative affinity. I don't know what else. There's not a lot that stands out about Chatacabra other than the tongue and the punching. And the arms. They're really punching. Wrong direction. I should have gone the other way to get the paintballs. So Chatacabra, no idea. Seems like it should be a raw, I don't know, utility skill armor. So raw utility skill. The fire chicken would be probably fire based. Balahara. I think the armor could likely be sharpening and like sharpness focused. Because of the grinder sort of aesthetic. I haven't actually been paying enough attention for the hot air balloon. I should have been looking better. I should have been looking more thoroughly. I don't know. Like Balahara, I think that's what it could be in terms of armor, and the weapon could be a high affinity, maybe. Well, high, like 5 or 10. Depending on how they balance affinity in the game. This game, 10, 15% affinity. I know Sunbreak had some that went to 40, but those had their own negatives. It could just be a high sharpness weapon. That could be... No, sharpness. Yeah, high sharpness. Or just long sharpness gauge. I bet the Kirin was in zone 4. When I went to 3 or 7, it went from 4 to 2. Because that's what that other monster they fought recently did. I think that pattern is a bad pattern because it misses monsters like that. Not necessarily exactly like that, but like, considering I've been to every zone and I missed the monster, I think the pattern I followed was a bad one. Unless I missed zone 5? I don't think I did. Hmm. Radao, lightning, probably. Well, thunder is not lightning because I call it thunder even though it's really lightning because it's not sound waves. But whatever. This is the longest I've had to just run around looking for a monster. I must have missed it. In like some sort of really obvious manner. I'll check 3 and then come back. I wasn't looking at the top right of my screen, so it's possible that I went into the area and just didn't see it because it didn't aggro. And it didn't let me know that I saw it. With the usual encounter sound. If it's in zone 1, then that's very out of character. Very different for this game. I don't know if I've ever fought a monster in zone 1 of the Jurassic Frontier. Which is why I never check it. Okay, there it is. That took 8 years. I think they should give Kirin a roar. Just super loud neigh. Excuse me, sorry. A bit hard to mute when you don't want to be hit by a Kirin. Lala Barina. No idea what sort of gear it might give. The fire octopus. It's more of an oil octopus, but that one's also... It could be a fire-based monster, in which case it gives fire gear. It could be interesting if it had some sort of like status effect that the weapon applies that increases fire damage. Like oil. Like a new oil buildup that then you can trigger a burning dot on monsters somehow. What is it targeting? No one knows. That visually... Oh, so it gives a beam of... It does a beam of lightning. And then it does the actual damaging beam. Which looks confusing because it doesn't really need to give a warning beam. It could just shoot the beam of lightning and it would make no difference. Yeah, that actually makes it look way more confusing now that I've noticed it properly. Just do something that I can do anything. Stop just running around. I kind of hope that oh, what's it called? I can't remember what the chain monster is called. It has a name that they've used, but it's completely forgotten. It has been surpassed by the Black Flame in terms of style. white something, maybe? I don't know, can't remember. Phantom? I don't know. Terrible camera. But I hope it doesn't. I hope its gear doesn't follow like Magala gear, just because of the arm wing sort of aesthetic that it seems to have. I hope it's not like crit focused. I hope it's something different. Just stop moving, Kirin. I'm also just kind of doing a lot of rolls because I'm like, oh, I can sharpen. Worth it if I get hit. Worth it if I don't. I'm also food rations, max potions, ancient potions, all that type of stuff. I wonder how it's gonna end up feeling. How relevant the... Oh, that was weird. Like, I wonder how relevant the various... I knew that was gonna hit me. The various, new things, like, the temporary camps are gonna be. Like, I wonder if they're gonna become necessary to play, or if they're just sort of convenience tools. Like, in Rise, and I don't know about World, in Rise you can definitely just restock all your stuff, so you have infinite potions, basically. But you don't have to. You don't have to restock. You can choose to not interact with that. Which is mostly how I played, except for on 1 or 2 fights. Where I didn't want to spend another half hour trying to get to that point in a fight, so I would restock when it was nearly dead. But like, whether it's gonna be that sort of thing where you don't really need to make temporary camps, but it's convenient and it makes it a little bit easier. But if you want to not have the convenience, you can easily just forego the camping just because you don't want to. Oops. I think Quick Sheath would be very nice, as always. Yeah, let's just keep rolling for a bit. Get some free sharpness. Don't know why I kicked there. I really wish the animation for the Kirin's mount right here was like one arm up in the air, like a show-offy sort of thing. I think it would be funny. And not totally out of character. Anyway. Weird Elder Dragon. kind of think it'd be fun if there's no Magalas, given the... Oh, what is that monster called? White Wraith. Like the White Wraith, which might be called Arkfeld? Yeah, it has the Magala arms, sort of. It's weird, like, calling it an extinct species when it's, like, unless someone brought it back after it was extinct, then it just isn't extinct. It was a thought to be extinct species, but it's not an extinct species if it's still alive. It'd be funny if they still call it an extinct species. The new... Oh yeah. Because you can't get tickets, like... I know, I think I understand why it's not available in the hub. But it's pretty silly when you get a Beaster ticket that you would normally get from the place that you're eating, and you can't pick it up at the actual place that you are eating because it's the hub and it's, I don't know, somewhat instanced or something. I don't know how it's set up, obviously. I have one more hunt to do, and then I have a couple things I'm going to clean up at the end. Ooh. Sure. I'm not looking forward to doing Gammoth again. I didn't actually check where this is. I don't really care for Gammoth as a hunt. D-Island, that's fine. It's too much AoE. Now, Gammoth in the Fated 4 quest, at least in the normal Fated 4, maybe there's a harder version, being in an arena and not having a ton of snow to work with actually was less annoying. It doesn't fit the aesthetic and it kind of ruins the hunt itself, but it's less annoying in an arena without snow. Arzuros could be anywhere. We'll do 3, 7, 6. And then 5, 2, 5, 9. Which is probably a bad route to follow. I should probably do 3, 7, 8, 5, 6. Or 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. Something silly. I'm kind of curious how all this... I said I was going to go to 8. I gave up. Just thinking too much about stuff that won't be answered or hasn't been answered by the Wilds demo. Arkfeld could do a lot. Oh, there could be some cool weapon designs with it. Potentially. Cool in a... not... perfect timing. Cool, it's sort of like that. It'll be different from all the other, or it could be different from all the other monster sort of designs because a big part of the aesthetic of Arkfeld is the chains on its wings. So they kind of have to use those. And they could either use them and it'll be really boring because they used it in a boring way, or they use them in a way that's interesting. Like, I don't know. They wouldn't, but like a hammer that behaves exactly like a hammer, but it's actually a flail, a ball and chain sort of thing. So the hammer itself, it behaves the exact same way, but it's sort of dangling on a chain instead of being a solid hammer. They wouldn't, because that wouldn't be a hammer anymore. And it wouldn't be a cross-promotion aesthetic. Because they'll do pizza cutters for weapons. And giant corn cob weapons, but it might be a little out of place to do a real weapon as an alternative to like a hammer. I timed it correctly, good. I missed, but I did time it correctly. That attack is goofy looking. Wait, can I? I can, okay. That's one of those things that I need to learn to make use of properly. Because I think for a monster like Devil Joe, that's going to be the only way to escape, because it has a crazy long bite. And I sort of think it will be impossible to escape it without throwing a dung bomb. So getting into the habit of actually using those to escape would be a good idea. But next is Zinogre. I mean, Zinogre is going to be in. Oh, Zinogre's probably going to be in Wilds, right? Like, Zinogre and Diablos are both fairly common monsters. They show up a lot. It'd be interesting to not have them. But I kind of want to see whether Zinogre's been in everything since Portable Third. Portable Third, 3U, 4U, Gen U, Iceborne, Rise, Sunbreak. So it wasn't in Base World, which is something. So I guess it could just not be in Base, it could be not in Base Wilds. But it, including the, you know, G rank, Master rank updates, it's been in every game since its release, practically speaking, I think. I need to check Diablos. It's introduced in the first game. Monster Hunter G, Monster Hunter Freedom, Monster Hunter 2, Freedom 2, Freedom Unite, 3, Portable Third, 3U, 4U. It wasn't in Base 4. It wasn't in Base Generations, but it was in Base World and Rise. So it will probably be in Wilds in some form. I think it'd be interesting to have it only in, like, not be in the base game, but is there any reason they would leave it out of the base game? Maybe. Maybe they have enough sandy monsters. With Balahara. And, I mean, that's basically it. Doshagama is in the sandy, sort of lush area. I should have put the weapon away. I really love these mount animations. They're very good. Like Diablos, it'd be cool to not see Diablos. I don't know if he's basically been confirmed yet, though. I know, you know, Rathlos has because of a trailer, but it would be cool to not see them because I like Zinogre mostly. I think it's a fun aesthetic. I don't love Diablos, but that's just a personal style of combat thing. I don't actually think Diablos is a bad fight. Stop doing this, please. Stop doing this, please. Well, at least you stopped. I should be stunned, I hope. Yep. This might be the electric phase, which should give me time to heal. Oop. Is Zinogre, Diablos, Rathian. I think there's a lot of monsters that will probably be present. But also, I personally wouldn't miss. I think Gypsaros would be fun. Gypsaros with a different... basically the same fight, but like some sort of new minor change to like how everything works, if necessary. I don't like that. That's boring. You just have to run away because it's just a bunch of random spam. Greedy second heal. Too slow. I don't know how I'm stunned there. Oh, I'm electrocuted still. Okay. That would be why I got stunned. You don't like attacks like that where the correct choice is just stay away. Sit around and do nothing. It's just not my favorite types. I mean, you can dodge it in close range, I think. But you can't really... Okay, that... I guess that hit. Oh. Oh. Greed heal. Not worth it. Totally worth it. Yeah, whatever. I got my weapon out. I think there could be a fun... Ooh, actually, could they bring... Could they bring any Rise monsters back? I don't know. Is Gosarog's a Rise monster, right? Assuming there is gonna be a... Not worth it. I thought he was gonna go to the right there. I thought he was gonna attack my Palico. Oh, worth it. They haven't shown an icy locale yet, I think, but I think there's probably going to be an icy locale. Like, not having space for icy monsters would be limiting. Oh, he ran faster than I thought he would. Yeah, icy locale would be... Not having ice would be limiting. So Gosarog could come back, I think. I don't really know all the... I know my... Wait, is this a double carve or did I not successfully carve it? I don't think... Was Magnamalo maybe could come back? Probably not. It feels too specific of an aesthetic. I like the stretching its neck. It's kind of fun. Or is it more stretching its shoulders? I don't know. I don't know what technically it would be stretching. It's probably its neck. Bad idea. Hey, you didn't charge me. Good. Like, I feel like worth it. Because somehow I didn't get hit there. That was nonsense. I should have been hit there. Oh, oh, it's limping? Okay. I think Malzeno is too specific to the Sunbreak. Maybe for event quest type stuff it could come back, but not... It feels very specific. Except for the fact that a new Malzeno showed up in the story late Sunbreak, so maybe they could have multiple Malzenos. Just not... They wouldn't be able to have normal Malzeno. They could have Primordial Malzeno though, I think. Magnamalo feels very specific to its setting. And I don't think Wilds fits with that aesthetic. Like, I don't think the, like, samurai... I mean, Zinogre's kind of samurai-y or whatever, but... I don't think Magnamalo's aesthetic fits Wilds, with what's shown so far. What other... I actually can't remember what other monsters were new to Rise. Lunagaron. But Lunagaron, Garen Golem, and that other guy. Which might have just been Malzeno. Might have been those three? No. Whatever. They can't really come back in those forms because they're local specific. Somnicanth could come back. Or at least Aurora, definitely. Bishatin could come back. Gaius Magorm couldn't. Roknagadaki probably could. Narwa Ibushi couldn't. Aknasom probably could. Same with Great Izuchi. Those are just kind of small, low-level, generic monsters. They don't really need to come back. Yeah, there's a lot of ones that could come back. Almudron could. I wouldn't personally want it to, but it could. Yep, that's gonna be it for Real Quests today. I think it's been a couple minutes really quickly going through to get the check mark. Clearing these as fast as I can. But it's fun to think about potential monsters from specific games. Like, maybe Nergigante could come back from World. I don't really know. I wish these weren't part of the checkmark. Those still images just being slid up and down. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, it works. It fulfills its purpose, but that's terrible. Nergigante maybe could come back, maybe couldn't. I can't imagine, like, Xenojiva could. Or Safijiva. No, Safijiva probably could, is my guess. It just, Xenojiva, I don't know. I don't know if it would ever have a purpose outside the Elder's Recess. Maybe I'm misremembering the basics of the lore, but I thought it needed bioenergy and all that, and the Elder's Recess is where they all go to die and whatnot. But they could pull a Shigaru Magala, Gore Magala, and just, nope, they're just here. The lore reasons don't matter. They're just in the area. Which is fine. But I think Nergigante is more likely to be any theoretical lore. Easy to forget for that guy. Odogaron, or Odogaron, I think could come back. It might not fit. Oh, actually, it could fit in the blood foresty zone, right? I think it would fit the aesthetic there, maybe. Valhazak could pull a Magala scenario where it doesn't have all the effluvium, but it does an aura of effluvium stuff around itself or something. That wouldn't be fun though. Actually, I guess I'm just thinking about how the frenzy, there's a difference between the effluvium and the frenzy. Frenzy, you can ignore it, and it's actually a good thing. You can trigger it yourself, you get affinity, it's a positive. Whereas effluvium, it just destroys your HP. And without effluvium resistance, you have to just deal with it. Though in World, the only really consistent way to get effluvium resistance was armor made from Valhazak. I think there were decorations, but it's just kind of awkward. So it might be weird to bring effluvium in any format to any other game. Just because it doesn't have that same, like, you can clear it easily. Though they could add a new way to clear effluvium and avoid being destroyed by it if they brought them forward. Yeah, that'll be it for today. It's fun to think about monsters that could be in the game. And the reality is, any monster probably could be brought forward. Maybe not like, I mean, even like, oh, Dolometer is suddenly going to be in the game. It's probably possible. But yeah, next time I have a bunch more of this to do. And next time will be my last time playing before the release of the demo for people that don't have PlayStation Plus. And I haven't been watching stuff about it. I don't want to spoil anything. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3 pages left total. Yeah, 3 pages left. Then I'll be able to do the urgent quest. And the urgent quest will be a new monster, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's a fairly interesting monster. So, that's in the future. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.